Okay, we're live,
Are we
Steve.
here?
I don't know. It's oh my. What
I mean, let's see who finds us in the chat. This is going to be interesting because I think it's kind of as it goes live. I think
yeah,
people are going to have to find us because there was no link that I sent out other than to the YouTube channel.
yeah.
So let's
And
just
it's
kind
the
of see
same
how we
one
go.
from last week. It's the same. It
Yeah,
was
let's
because
just
we
see what
didn't
it
do
looks
the
like.
show last week, so it ended up being the same as
Oh yeah, here we go.
this week.
He says, yeah. It's there. It's there. Well, let's see. We're on our own for now.
Yeah, yeah. There's one. There's one.
Hey, one. Who's one? Hello,
There's
one.
one.
Whoever one is. But yeah,
And now we just
hey.
moved the chat out. I lost the window.
If you're just joining us, people, this is what we call a slight technical
Mess.
issue so far.
I call it a mess. I call this a mess. Oh my god.
Well, look, they're coming in their droves now, Deej. Come on, look professional.
No.
Look professional.
Oh my
Hey,
god. Let me put the
everybody,
lights
we're
on in
here.
here. Let me get the lights going. Nothing. I sat down. Sorry everybody for people that listen. I mean, as Steve knows, he I came in hot from work, and then my computer wouldn't boot up. The password wasn't working because I'm panicking. And like when you're trying to do something in a hurry, nothing works. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and I almost shouted out my password. I'm like, there's a password. Did it again. 4 tries, 5 tries, 6 tries. Couldn't get into it. I'm like, that's it. I'm losing my mind. I'm like, what? And I look, caps lock was on. So
Yep.
I hit that. Then I get in. I'm thinking we're all good, right? Nope. My camera didn't work. Nothing. I screwed up. For people, oh wow, the chat's starting to pick up. I can't find the chat though. This is such oh, there it is. There's the chat. Let's move it again. Let's see. Open in the new window. That ought to be good.
It's the wrong time for us to start messing with new features, isn't it?
I know. They gave us a new feature. StreamYard gave us a new feature that I've been dying for. I was just telling Steve that it's like, so now we could take the chat and move it out to a different screen, so it doesn't have to hog that screen. And now I get to see Steve in a bit, a bigger version of Steve, so I can actually engage more. And it would be nice because I could then take I can now get another display, which I don't think I should do. Turn it sideways and put the chat there and be able to see everybody's chat, right? That people do that. Well, StreamYard hasn't been able to do that ever. And I thought it would be a cool feature. And I was just telling somebody about it the other day. And then lo and behold, we get on and here it is. So I can read the chat in one window while looking at Steve over here. But I set this thing up back there. That's a nice little feature back there. I had it working. Steve has seen it. John Mensor has seen it. It's pretty cool. It's not working right now. My other display is not working right now. Nothing is working right. I am like, if you can't tell, a little distraught. Okay. So.
And a little behind the scenes, the little inside baseball. Deej was going dark side, Deej.
Oh, big time. Big time. Oh my God. Yeah, Deej is not a happy camper.
It was the non-PG version.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. It's yeah.
Never mind though. We're back though, and that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah.
And it is very good to be back. Can I just say that these, just because again, we haven't had a chance to talk about last week, but in terms of, again, as always, when these sort of snafus happen, and they do because it's live, everybody in the chat, all of our regulars and non-regulars alike, are all very, very cool and understanding. And I've had DMs and I've had tweets and I've had emails, from people just going, no worries, we'll see you next week. And, thanks very much. And an offer from one particular person who's in the chat to just do the show anyway with him.
There you go.
We'll do it. It'll be okay. But yes, it's, but everyone was very cool about it. So that's good. And we do appreciate that. Because it's, life gets in the way and it's nice when everybody is cool about it. So then deal with that.
Same here. I got a lot of DMs, texts, emails, and people saying everything all right. But I'm like, yep, just defecation hitting the rotary oscillator, and stuff happens, and you got to take care of it. So yeah, so we got that taken care of. Back and forth. John Thompson, actually, him and I were in the middle of we had a great conversation literally last Tuesday, right? Like you guys know behind the scenes, like right up till the showtime. I had talked to John Thompson for like 2 hours that day. We had a great conversation Tuesday. And then Todd's supposed to join us. I send him the link, and then it was like, bang. It's like, nope, the show wasn't. Defecation hit the rotary oscillator. So, so we had, it was ready to go. And then John and I have been playing phone tag this week. He's been great about it. And he's like, everything all right? It's like, I'm like, oh, yeah. But yeah. No, it's like you said, it's like people like, that's one of the things, and we've said about it before. When you start out, it's like you want to be consistent so that people know where to go, and they depend on that, right? Well, I don't want to rest on that. We've been consistent for quite a while, but I still am disappointed when we don't get it out and stuff like that. But everybody's great about it, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just beyond our control, same as it is with anybody and everybody. So yeah, it definitely makes a difference when people are supportive and no one's publicly going, "Oh, you guys suck" and all that. We know that.
We know that.
Yeah,
exactly.
But it's just nice when everyone's like, "Hey, cool," And actually, we had in the chat last week. I was on for about an hour, and we were all kind of backwards and forwardsing, and it was, that was kind of cool as well. So again, everybody just rolling with it, and everyone was good. So yeah, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
So Mike Piantadosi saying, "Big game tonight, DJ. Any thoughts?" What's the game?
Yeah, it's funny. So I'm in a Bruins. Yeah, I'm in a text group with some guys I work with or worked with, and when they were down 4-0 early in the game the other night, and I said, and they don't even know about this show. These are just hockey or work buddies of mine, and they're hockey fans. And they don't know about Brightside. They don't know about the show and stuff. And I go, hey, Brightside guys, if they come back and win this game, they're winning the series, because that would have crushed Buffalo, right? And I said, and if they don't win this game, they're going to Buffalo. They're going to win that game. That is going to hurt Buffalo. Then they're coming back home. They're going to win that game. And then anything can happen at Game 7. So I got it all typed out. I said it. I predicted it. So that's me being positive. And then if they lose tonight, I'm like, all right, see you next year.
That's fine.
I've been there too many times. I remember the year they won the cup in 2011. They went to Game 7 against Montreal, and it was like, I was just like, oh God, here we go again. And then I think they won that. Did they win that one in overtime? And I pretty much wrote it off. I was like, all right, another year, first round, and exit. And then I think every round except for the round against Philly, they went 7 games. Philly, they swept, which was nice.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, in 2011. But yeah, it was, it's brutal, and every game is a new game. So we'll see. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Michael.
So add to the tension.
Exactly. It's brutal. Oh
man. But there we go. Well, the good news is, from having had a week off last week, we've got double the excitement this week. And normally at the beginning of the show, I'm apologizing for feeling tired. Now, I am quite tired. However, I am absolutely jonesing to talk about some very cool stuff tonight. Which, we would have talked last week, but that's fine. I've stored it up. So the enthusiasm is twice as much. And even my boss said it today, said, Steve, you're in quite a funny mood, because I was winding him up. So, apologies, everyone.
Yeah. So what do we like? I actually, let's see. I'm looking at, we can end with how we were going to end the show last week.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And we'll wrap up with that one. And then from there, it's like, I think I have that image. I'm looking in HT show. I'm missing images left and right. This is weird.
It's okay. We'll see how we go.
But we'll find them. And then, then we can do, where are all my images? But yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I do have a question, but it's film related. So we'll probably do that after we start properly, shall we? Do that after we get into the show proper?
All right. Let's do that. Let's try and
Yeah,
get
go on.
something back to normal here. And somehow I gotta find the link somehow here. It is.
We are Brightside Theater.
Hey, home theater nerds. Welcome to the Brightside Home Theater Podcast, a multi-award-winning giving and receiving home theater podcast that's all about the experiences, the sights,
the sounds,
the scenes. You found the button, Dish. You found the button for the sounds.
All right, I'm trying to get on track here. I was like, it was close. I looked down. It was going to be this. That wouldn't have been good. So
no,
I looked down. I'm like, hey, let's get ahead of the game here and actually set this up. So I'm not like, hey, the sights. Oh, oops. Yeah. So.
No. Well, okay. Well, let's say hi to everyone in the chat then that's joined in, and again because it's called a.
Where did I put the chat?
Yeah, I think it's behind you.
This is ridiculous. Oh, it's too much.
Directly into your brain. Right, so first in looks to be Marcus Beebe. So although that looks to have been so 8:34 your time, was that? Yeah,
that could have been yesterday
when that was.
or something.
Yeah, man,
yeah, because I have Steve at came in at 1:32. Over today.
Yeah, cool. Then we've got you, and then we've got PF's in, Paul's in. Hey, Paul. But then Paul Hurt's in, the two Pauls, and Dom's in. Bonsoir, Dom. Steve that's in. C Big's in. Hey, C Big, good to see you again, buddy. And then Michael Piantadosi's in. Jordan's in. We got someone new.
Where's that?
Sarah Joanna.
I am Sarah Joanna. What's up, guys?
Okay. Hello. Hey, nice to see you.
I am Sarah Joanna. I'm thinking. Yeah.
Very cool. And then Macro Proxy as well. And howdy. Hey, buddy. Yeah, cool. Howdy.
Nice. How you doing, Macro? Cool. It's funny. Yeah, it's funny. I'm looking at where was the other one? The Sarah one. I am Sarah Joanna, and when we get all the different names from around the world, and we're trying to sound it out in like a different, like a Sarah Joanna. No, it's Sarah Joanna.
Sarah Joanna.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and you know what's funny? She's probably, if it's a she, it could be a he, and it's like, no, it's just a funny bunch of letters I put together. I don't know.
Keep getting. But then Michael Piantadosi straight in saying, really enjoyed Drive, by the way. Great HT experience. Thanks to Steve.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Deej is the one who sort of recommended it before I did. But
I started, like a lot of the stuff we do. It's like I started it, you jumped on, and then like I watch it. You put a movie into the link, and I'm like, oh, I got to see that too. And it was like, we both hit it at the same time on the show.
Oh, yeah. Talking of which, Thrash, the Netflix shark movie, the friend of mine who I talk to every day, we chat every day. And we're going to talk about him in a minute with another thing. But sent me a text last week saying, I've just seen the worst film I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, well, what film was that?
Yeah,
said,
there's a lot of
Thrash.
Oh, my God.
Netflix.
Yeah.
So it's the worst film he's ever seen. I said, well,
That's
I didn't think a lot of it either. But we're not quite that bad. But
yeah, the movie itself isn't like great. But I mean, it's a good home theater experience.
Yeah.
I have another one of those today.
We got loads of them, absolutely loads.
I was like, this one here. I have an image for this one. What did you think of that one? We'll talk.
How long
about
have you got?
Not too. Let's not spend. We'll talk about it when we get there. I thought home theater wise, I have a couple of decent things for it, but I'm not saying run out and see it.
Yeah, I have notes.
Oh, you took notes?
No, not literally, but I have notes. I have comments for the filmmakers. But yes, indeed. No, but this chap that I was talking to this morning, we talked. Oh, hey, Rach just dropped in.
Hey.
So this
is
chap, we
killing
were
me.
chatting earlier today, and I told him that I had picked up. In fact, I was picking up today, which is the new 4K version of Inner Space,
Yeah.
which has just come out. So it's like, kind of cool. And he met. So it occurred to me, and we're not going to talk politics. That's not what we're here to talk about. So we're not going to get into that. But Deej, favorite Dennis Quaid movie. See, we kind of think it's Inner Space for us, but and by the way, I was thinking of this earlier, and I deliberately put you on the spot because I went onto IMDb
Without looking
at
it up,
yeah. And when I was looking on his filmography, I thought, which one would Deej choose? And I think I know, but we'll see. I'm not sure if you'll remember he was in this or not. But I think
That's the thing. Without looking it up, I'd probably say Inner Space because I do remember that one from being
he's
younger.
great.
It was and it's the first one I remember him. But I oh my God, I just
I'm sorry for putting you on the spot.
Oh yeah, Day After Tomorrow.
Oh, that's what I had down. That's what I thought.
There you go. And I'd have to look that up. Look at that. Yeah, I was just watching it the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that's a great. Yeah, he's. I mean, I just like him. His his persona on screen is pretty cool,
his screen presence is great. But then when you think about it, so we were going backwards and forwards on this, and I was sort of thinking, what films has he been in? And again, this guy mentioned Day After Tomorrow, but also I think of Frequency with Jim Caviezel. There's really good in Frequency. That's a kind of forgotten movie, I think, by a lot of people. I mean, obviously, again, both of them have their own political issues, but in terms of that movie, that film's fantastic. And in fact, came out in the early days of DVD, I seem to remember. It was one of those New Line little snapper case movies. And it was that was a great film. But we then tend to forget with him, and I did cheat because I looked at IMDb, he's in The Right Stuff. Yeah, Paul F. There we go. Yeah. So, I mean, he's great in that.
Yeah.
So he was very cool in The Right Stuff. I thought he was really good in that.
Yeah.
We won't mention him being in War Machine, of course. He's in that briefly, isn't he? With old.
He's one of the commanding officers, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And.
Yeah.
I've forgotten him in that, and thanks for reminding me on that, Paul F. I'm trying, still trying. And that's a good shout from Jordan as well. He is very good in The Substance too. Yeah. He's great, icky and horrible, and makes your flesh crawl in it in exactly the way he's supposed to. Have you seen that yet, Deej? By the way, The Substance.
What? No.
He's a slippery, slimy, literal horrible person in that. But but it's a great performance, if you know what I mean. He's really good in The Substance. But for me, it's Inner Space. I mean, I think he is so good in that. He is embodying this kind of, ladies' man, man's man, whatever you want to call it. He's a bit of everything in that. He's so good. He's utterly hopeless in everything he does in it, but he's brilliant. So that's good in Inner Space. I love it. It's very, very cool. But I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I will.
That's one that. When did that come out? I know it was
86.
Yeah, so I remember watching that over and over.
Yeah,
in the 80s, and it was and it was so memorable because it's just like you just watched it over and over. That's why.
He's very cool. Yeah, was it Tuck Pendleton? Zero Defects. He is very, very cool. I'd let it roll on. I'm looking forward to seeing that again. I think I reviewed the Blu-ray ages ago on the show when it came out, but now this is it's a 4K original camera negative remaster and in Dolby Atmos.
Oh wow!
So that's going to be interesting as well. Yeah. So looking forward to checking that out.
Ooh. Let's see.
Oh, you on? You on? I see you're on Kaleidoscape.
Yeah. I was like,
The Big Easy, Paul. That's a good shout. The Big Easy's a good one as well. Yeah. He's been in so many movies, and I think we forget just how good he is. But yeah, that's a great shout.
Wait a minute.
Is it on Kaleidoscape? This is the Arrow release, mine, so I don't know whether it's dropped.
No, it's only HD. Yeah, it's only in HD.
This only came out here yesterday.
Oh wow!
So and they do Arrow ones, don't they?
Yes.
Yes. Do, yeah. So it may well drop.
It'll take a little bit.
Big release. They're bound to do it. They obviously spent some money on it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be it's going to be good. I do love that film. Meg Ryan's lovely in it as well. It's one of her best
Big
like,
Easy
performances as well.
Yep.
They're so good together. Oh, and Dragonheart. Oh, Paul
Yeah,
Effie is definitely on IMDb.
Yep. I have that on Laserdisc too.
Mhm.
Yep.
Nice.
DTS. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's funny. The Laserdisc and DTS, that was one of the conversations John Thompson and I were having about people talking about how they used to just put the studio mix out on the Laserdiscs, right? It's like there was they didn't down mix it, nothing. It was like the audio mix from the theaters went right to the Laserdisc and blah blah blah. And what was it? 4K Collective. Great follow on Twitter. He had mentioned, he's like, that was when it had the best sound, not like, and that's what I said, he's a great follow, but he didn't get the part of where he goes, saying today how they do they down mix it for home so that it's more appropriate, right, for the smaller room environment. And Paul Hurt and I discussed this at length a couple of years ago on the show, and it was like, so basically they do now what THX did back then, right? So like when you got the THX mix, it down mixed it set your settings to play the theater mix, right? So he's like, yeah, the best was the Laserdisc had the best because they had the theater mix, and he screenshotted like 4 Laserdiscs, and they're all THX Laserdiscs. And I'm like, which is basically setting to what they released today. So John and I were talking about that. It's like there's just so much history that unless you, and I don't remember it all right off the top, but when it starts to come up, you're like, oh yeah, that's what this and this is. And it's like, and that's why I talk with John for like 2 hours, because he'll tell you literally like, oh yeah, THX, and it's like the Thomas Howell experience, blah, blah, blah. And like, here we go.
You could say good morning to John and it takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that's so cool about him. But yeah, and yet we look back on that with the Laserdisc days. Now, I never had a Laserdisc player. It was never, I mean, Paul, close your ears. It was never quite that big a deal. Yeah. It was never quite that big a deal here. Laserdiscs were very niche here, even more than in the US. Yeah, but they were ultra niche here. And I say that because had they not been anything other than niche, I would have had them, because I was into home video and stuff at that time, but I never did because there was nowhere selling them that was local to me that you could get them. And obviously you couldn't order them online or anything back then. Yeah. But I think
there's no online.
Exactly that. I think that we look back on them maybe with a certain amount of rose-tinted spectacles, because of course, whilst you're right, it was the theatrical mix, but we'd have been playing it on older technology. Yeah. So I think probably, well, if I would say definitely, even a mixed for home theater now would sound better than a Laserdisc mix back then on the tech we had back then. Because I would say not having
people,
I appreciate
it, and I don't know the techs on this, and there are people like John Thompson, Paul Hurt would know even as well. It's like the difference would be is like when we're talking about audio, and I'm regurgitating this is a car painter regurgitating the experts' information that I have gleaned over the years. And what it is like what we're getting today is digital and it's compressed. Okay. When you're talking analog, there's no, from what I understand, there's no compression. It's just, this is clean. So people, you would be better served with that. And trust me, people will correct me if I'm wrong, but you're better served with that and taking today's technology, our hardware, and then putting it out to your room, right? Instead of getting the analogous to taking a pristine print of Lawrence of Arabia and making it digital. That pristine print is your foundation. You see what I mean? And then you digitize it from there, and you can take as much information as you can handle and do that. But now if you're going to stream it out, you're going to compress that digital information down and stuff like that. But the original print, gorgeous. And that's what you're starting with. And that's the idea, I think, with analog sound too.
Yeah, but what I'm wondering is, and again, I don't know either, because I've never heard a Laserdisc. The only time I've seen them playing is when Paul put them on in the 25-hour show that time, very coolly. So is the suggestion then, if you took a laser disc of Jurassic Park, right? You took laser disc of Jurassic
DTS.
Park.
That would be DTS.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you ran that through your receiver then, as it said, if you still had the receiver still working, still had your speakers still working, are we saying if you threw up the 4K Blu-ray onto your 75, 77, 85-inch display, synced it to the Laserdisc, are we saying that would be better audio than the Dolby Atmos DTS:X mix that's come along sit on our modern tech? Are we saying that?
There are people, like Paul says here, there's people in the groups that would say, you're going to hear stuff like it's a warmer sound, it's a more full sound, it's more dynamic, it's uncompressed, it's going to be this. But the problem is, and like with sound back then and why THX existed, is because what people are saying is like, well, it's great because it's the same thing that was in theaters. Yeah, but that, as we know today, that doesn't play well in our smaller rooms, right? So you've got your surround sounds that are supposed to be like 50 feet away are now 8 feet away, right? And it's like it needs to be, the room would need to be calibrated appropriately for that mix. And you know, if you did a switch off, and again, there are people, I don't think it would be as good, but the reason people think it is
what you think
the older one,
the older one,
the older one, because your audio is first and foremost, it's dependent on the room, right? And most people don't, they forget that part. It's dependent on the room, but then go with everything else. It's the entire chain, right? So like if you have an audio mix that's meant for a large room, but now you're in a small room, that's going to be an issue. But you can calibrate that. But if you have the hardware to calibrate that, you can offset that. And that's what THX did. Okay. There's no reason that any of and it's like audio is just, frequencies. You got 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. How does it play it? And are they going to, in compression, are you going to lose anything are you losing anything that maybe you was inaudible? And so there's so many different factors.
Absolutely. But you also, of course, the other thing that then further muddies these waters is when they then take Twister and they go back to the original audio stems and they then remix that for these new mixes. And so again, that's changing it again, isn't it? It's another variable. And then, someday, if someone hasn't already done it already, it would be interesting to see what would happen. If you could get a receiver from then, speakers from then that are running, and then play the laser disc, and then blind test that with a modern mix. I suspect that a properly done modern mix, and this is a suspicion, I don't know for sure, but I would be willing to bet that a modern mix done properly on a decent rig, and we're not talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, but on a decent rig would be better. I think the modern stuff will sound better, and I do wonder if there's a little bit of rose tinted spectacles going on. Everything was better back in the day, back in old days. Whereas I think there's a bit of that, but I don't know for sure. But I think there might be.
100%.
Looking at so Paul says again, we're talking about hertz. So let's go to Paul Hertz. So 4K discs are a bit like CD.
Paul, you should legally change your name to Hertz with the Z at the end. Paul Hertz.
Missed the trick there. If ever there was a sound.
ERTZ, Hertz.
No, because then people will keep trying to rent him a car.
That's true. Oh my God. One of my best friends, his daughter's name's Taylor. And his father always used to call her Ryder because he remembered that her name was after a rental company.
No. Can I just say,
hey, Ryder, your clothes better than U-Haul.
Can I just say, best never to refer to a female as Ryder?
No. Or a trench. But all right, anyways.
And I've got the tombstone to prove it.
Yes, you do.
So capability of 4K Blu-ray is way better than Laserdisc, but they've remixed the soundtrack and off dynamic range compared to the theater. Okay, all right. Well, that's interesting. Actually, I think I've got a disc that I saw this week that I think proves that as an exception to the rule. And I might get into that tonight, if not next week. But I've seen one this week where a lot of reviewers think it's the theatrical mix on the disc.
Yeah.
For reasons I'll get into. So I think that's fair. Right. So Michael Piantadosi says, what I was saying, is there a difference? Not a chance. Warm equals less detail. And I know Mike's very up on his sound.
Yeah.
So, I think
the perception, it's warm. So it's like, it would be warmer, smoother. So and I think what Michael's trying to say is when people say that, it takes the dynamics out of it, right? It's like, it's warmer because it's smoother, because you don't have the, so it's like, nice and easy.
And so Jan Hextra says, I think that the audio on Laserdisc was better than the audio on DVD. Well, there's no doubt about that, because that would have been lost.
That's that's the same. DVD and Laserdisc had the same audio. It was basically the same audio track. DVD to Laserdisc they were almost exactly the same. The only difference was it was smaller, and it was that was when and people at the time on Laserdisc were saying, this is better, it's bigger, it holds more information. But then the DVD people were like, it was pretty much the same thing. They weren't. I don't think, because it was still the same technology. I don't think it was an upgraded technology like when we went to Blu-ray and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay. All right. I always found DVD audio was all right at the time, but I never remember being blown away by it. But again, that might have been my system at the time. So I think the audio on these Laserdisc was better than the audio on DVD, but DVD was a lot cheaper. But still love Laserdisc. Have them in storage in Europe, but they would rot like crazy in the climate over here. Well, that's your other problem, of course. So and then we've got, so Paul then says, the worst culprit I've heard is Age of Ultron. But yours would be Ragnarok, wouldn't it, Deej? Although of course no Laserdisc. But in terms of
Ragnarok was the worst of, like, just not being very dynamic. That was the first time we were like, and it was universal. Everybody was like, what the hell happened here? But then that's the other AC3, Dolby AC3, which that was the first codec that was discrete.
Dolby Digital, wasn't it? Yeah.
It became Dolby Digital, but at first on Laserdisc, and you had to have the special connection. It wasn't analog. That was when it went. I'm pretty sure
optical,
that went,
wasn't it? Optical
digital.
Toslink, or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was optical,
and you had a square plug.
Yep,
a little square.
thing, and you can't kink it because
and it had to be like less than a meter. I can remember.
It's a very really thin wire, but it's like, you felt fancy as hell when you had one of those. Yeah, like, it's crazy.
I remember the reason I remember AC3 is I remember being in Sam Goody, so that dates it already. Again, summer of '98, where I first bought my DVD player and my DVDs, RoboCop 2 and Scream 2. So if you ask, first ones I bought. I know. It says a lot about me that those were the first DVDs I bought. But I remember the guy on the counter at Sam Goody. I was queuing up. I was in a line, and the guy in front of me was talking to this guy behind the counter, and he kept talking about AC3 and DTS. And it was the first time I'd really heard those phrases, and that kind of stuck with me from there.
Yeah,
into finding out what they were.
So
whenever someone says AC3, that's what I think of.
I'm actually looking for an image where I found one. It was
whilst you're doing that, so just whilst you're looking at that, Jan says the DTS Laserdiscs sounded fantastic. Fair play. TSG, local boy. Hey TSG, I know you said hello earlier, mate. A friend has a Laserdisc. Hearing the audio was what got me into home cinema. Yeah, mine was GoldenEye on a VHS. And then we've got here we go.
That was the marker that we looked for when you were buying your Laserdisc. AC3 digital, Dolby AC3.
And that was from the wasn't that from the trailer with the helicopter? Didn't you get that light there from the helicopter? Doesn't it go round? Because I had a DVD which had all the demos on it.
Yep. Yeah, there was a train one. There was the
train. There was the canyon.
Yep.
And then you had the
canyon one. Yeah.
Yeah, and the helicopter one was over the cinema. It was a theater.
Over the city, and then you were going to the cinema. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I remember those. I even had the Dolby Digital posters, which had
Oh,
screen
yeah.
grabs from those trailers, and I had those up in the theater room.
Yep.
You know, way back when.
Oh yeah. If I could get that damn board that I just made a week ago going, you could put the movie poster, and I got an app that runs like everything underneath, like featured in all the THX and blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's fantastic, but it ain't. No, don't ask.
T2, yeah, Michael. I told you he's a sound man. Look, Michael Piantadosi, T2 was it for me. Yeah, I mean, that's a legendary, both Laserdisc,
everything, DVD, Blu-rays. How many DVD? You had the Skynet edition. You had, oh my God, I have them all.
So many extras.
When I thought I had them all until I started the show. And then I started talking to people, and people have, oh yeah, they're completionists, and they've got the Japanese version, the German version. I'm like, oh, sorry, I only bought the English ones.
Silly will be back.
I had the widescreen version. I had the pan and scan version. I had the DVD. Anytime I had, whenever it came out, I had it. And it's
that Skynet edition though was crazy. I mean, I remember I had a portable DVD player at the time, and this is when I did used to listen to the extras. I just don't do those anymore. It's incredibly rare that I listen to or watch any extras. But then I did, and I remember watching that for what felt like months to go through all of the extra features on that. There was crazy amounts of extras on that Skynet edition.
Yeah.
But that does seem to have gone by the wayside, because you just don't get those kinds of editions anymore. You just for whatever reason, they just don't. But I don't mind that, because, like I say, never listened to them. But
you know why? I mean, Laserdiscs had the audio commentary, right? And back in the 80s and 90s, if you had a Laserdisc player, you could hear the director. You could watch the movie with the director or whatever, and that was. It was huge. That was like a huge feature that people were like, what? There's audio in it? There's another audio track? Yeah, watch this. And oh my God, I loved watching every single one of those. All the extra features when they came out, DVD, DVD added extra features on top of that. They had audio commentary, plus you could see the trailer, plus you could see behind the scenes, plus there were deleted scenes. They kept adding these things. Why do you think they're gone now? Why isn't it as big a deal?
Cost.
No. Internet.
Okay,
by the time you get your DVD or Blu-ray today, or your 4K, all of that stuff is out online. It's not as big a deal to go in. I mean, I still do it every now and then, but it's not there's so much information on the internet now that by the time you get your Blu-ray or your 4K, you're like, all right, does it have anything I haven't seen or heard of before? Right? It's like back then we didn't have the internet to tell us all this stuff.
Yeah. See, I mean, that would make sense, definitely. But what I think it is, it's cost, and I think it's also, but I also think the people that put together those editions, and I mean, this comes from the Digital Bits, and Bill Hunt, and I've been reading that website since 1997. And from what I have read on that, the people that there were a hardcore group of people who believed in not only home video, but that it should be an experience. And these guys produced these ridiculously detailed special editions, and all those people have now gone. They've all left the theater, the studios. Those divisions were shut down because it's just too much time and effort and money. And because, of course, with dwindling sales, there's just that desire's gone. I think
there's not an attraction for people. People aren't buying these things anymore for the extra features because they really don't need them. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, when was the last time, especially with a catalog title comes out, when was the last time you found something that you'd never heard? Like Twister comes out, all new, new special features. They might be new to you, but if you had the Laserdisc, I bet you it's something off of that, or it's information that you knew about. Like Jurassic Park came out with the new special features in it, and I'm like, I remember them talking about the hurricane in the 90s. I remember them talking about how bad it was to film this. I remember all this. Oh yeah, and it for people like us, it was nostalgic. Like there are new people, all new special features. I'm like, I've seen this one before. I remember this one from the 90s, you know, and it's like,
Yeah.
but people hadn't seen it in forever, and it probably came out before they were born. So there is a whole new generation, which is great, but people aren't just flocking to like, I gotta get that for the special features. People buy it now for the actual film itself now, because
Well,
everything
that's what I
else is
think is-
available elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, again, case in point, look, in a space again. Look, if I don't know if you can see that. You don't need to read it, but so here we've got the synopsis of the film, right? So apologies for those
Yeah.
listening on Friday, but so we've got the synopsis here, which is what, about, I don't know, 10 lines or so. These are
Yeah.
all the apparent special features here, right?
Yeah.
So all the new bits and pieces, and I don't read below the third line once we get to what the sound is. As soon as we get to 4K Atmos, I don't
Yeah.
go any further, and the rest of it is irrelevant to me. And I
Yeah.
just don't bother with it. But I what I don't know, and guys in the chat, you can help us with this, and girls, is, so do you? What?
I just
Our
noticed
special
Nelson's
feature-
in the chat. Nelson Albino's in
Nelson.
the chat. He
Hey, buddy.
loves special features.
Well, this is what I was going to ask.
100%.
If you
Talking
had
to
to
him.
choose between, you know, a cutting edge audio video experience, or not quite as cutting edge but a load of special features, what is it you would choose? See, for me, I'm happy with a blank, with a bog standard disc that's got the best audio and video. Anything else, couldn't care less about.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think I'm probably in the minority, to be honest. But you know, that's just me. I don't know what.
If
kind
it's a
people
matter
chat
of
to.
choice, yes. If it's like you could get all these features, but the audio, we got to sacrifice some audio and video, I'd be like, oh, I just want, and that's where your 4Ks come in. 4K has very little special features on it. It's usually
Yeah.
another disc, and
Yeah,
that
true.
we never, you know, it's like, and that's the thing. It's like, and it's not because of the show. Like you and I watch a lot of content. People that I know watch even more. Like Rich Keefe. I mean, that guy, he's in yourself. I mean, you guys watch even more content than I, and I, you know, I will someday get back to it, but it's like, you're just pouring over this content and it's great, but it's like, you don't have time to go back and watch all the special features and do all that. And I think that could be another factor too. There's just so much content. Back then I'd get a laser disc and I'd be like, all right. And they were like $40-$50. So I'd buy one or two a week. You know, I was making like $300 a week, spending $100 on discs. So yeah, you could see my priorities, but so now I got this 2-hour movie with all the extra features. That's my hobby. What am I doing by next week? Watching everything on it. Right.
Yeah.
Now there's so much content in it. And that was back when there was still basically 3 channels and you had HBO or Cinemax or whatever. But it's like, now there's so much content. What am I going to watch? All the special features, or go on to the next piece of content, the next thing that's streaming?
That's true. I get. Yeah, I think that. You hit the nail on the head there. I think there's definitely something to that. So Michael says, couldn't care less.
Yeah.
And again, Dean M. Rosenberg, someone new? Do we know Dean M? If not, hey Dean,
Dean
thanks for
M?
tuning in.
Sounds
So
familiar, but I
does,
have a couple
does.
of friends named Dean.
Yeah.
But
Dean
yeah,
M.
not
So
Rosenberg.
cutting edge for sure. Don't have time for features. I'm with you,
Yeah.
buddy. 100%.
Yep.
What have we got? So Michael, again, just give me the best audio and video. Let's see.
Yeah.
So Greg, it's just proving that he's only a little nipper here. You know, he's only a little
Yeah.
fella. I love the special features in kids' films when I could resort to that on the portable DVD players on long drives.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough,
100%, because you only got a few DVDs, you watch it and you're on a long drive. So that's where you would get into that stuff. 100%. That makes 100% sense.
Yeah. So Carl, we always watch the film and all the extras, always since the Laserdisc days. Fair
Yeah.
play, Carl.
Yeah.
I just don't have that time. And then Paul. fair
Did Carl
play.
change his
Picture?
name, moniker? His
Yeah,
picture's
he-
the same.
I'm glad he hasn't gone for a third K there.
Yeah,
Um,
KKKR 433. I was like, oh boy. I was like, what's next? Let's do one letter and 666. Like, wow.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Don't respond to
love
that, Carl.
that
Just
dear.
let it go.
Oh,
Let it go.
dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
So Paul says, moving swiftly on.
Not swiftly enough for me.
No, not quite. Yeah. I'm all over the special features, Paul says.
It's like
Oh,
around
dear.
the globe. You can't. You do 2Ks, and you're like, "What are you doing?"
Well, I mean, hey, perhaps he should have gone with 4K.
There you go. You got to go to 4K, right? 2Ks, you're
don't
like,
stick with 3.
buddy, where are we going here?
So Dom, fair play, Dom. I get that. Give me a 4K 100 gigabyte disc for the movie and separate Blu-ray for the features. Well, then you get to choose, of course. But then so I get that. You can do that. Jordan, I prefer having extra features. It adds value to the release. Which again, I get that. If you're interested and you've got the time, fair play. But it's he's just laughing, right? Good.
Yeah,
he's taking it in good. Good.
Oh,
good.
He always does. He always
Yeah,
does.
no, that's absolutely. So Paul says I'll buy the 4K bare bones, then go to my feature pack.
He's ironing his hood, but okay.
Oh man.
Oh.
Right, I'll stop crying now.
Oh, okay.
All right. So so there we go. So I think people generally, as I thought, most people kind of want the features, but I honestly don't. There's very rare that I would want to do it, and I say this knowing that back in the day I did really enjoy them. I mean, the stuff I learned about First Blood with the David Morrell commentary.
Yes,
that's how I knew that Rambo was named after an apple, because he says it during that. And the French poet Rimbaud. And also, the commentary with on The Thing with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell is fantastic, because as it's going, they're drinking, and they clink the glasses, and you can hear the ice in the glasses as they go. And as the film goes on, they're getting hammered, and by the end of it, they're giggling like schoolgirls because they're drunk as skunks.
Yeah. The last,
and of course, Ben Affleck's one in Armageddon is legendary. When he's no one told him this is you're supposed to be still remembering this is an EPK. Don't just go in there and trash the movie. But no one told him, so that's what he does.
The one I told the story of the one on when I watched Ragnarok. That was probably one of the last ones, and it was like Taika Waititi says that like all the ships are named after the car from New Zealand. What's the name of it?
Healy?
Not Healy's. Not Healy's. Is it Healy? Not Austin Healy's. It's what's the car?
Cars
but anyways, my wife's cousin married a guy from New Zealand, and he has one. And I was literally, when I watched this one Sunday morning, got up early, and I was going to his house for like 9 a.m. Watched this, and I go there, and it's like to work on his car. And that's I'm like, what are the odds that I'm like watching like Ragnarok, and he's, Taika Waititi's talking about doing the, naming these cars all off his car. I think it's a Healy. I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Kiwi, but I left when I was 9. I can't remember much about the vehicles, I have to say. The Holden, that's more
Holden.
The Holden.
There you go. Thanks, Greg.
Yeah,
the Holden. Sorry, I knew it was an H, but yeah, Holden.
Well, Greg says Holden question mark. What is it that he thinks you're holding, Deej?
Beholden. Yeah. Beholden. Yeah. All right. We've gone far enough.
Paul says, sorry to derail your Dennis Quaid question by mentioning the Laserdisc. No, Paul, man, this is what's so fun about this. We can just go off on tangents. It's great.
Yeah.
Let's trip down memory lane. It's lovely. We like that.
Yep. Exactly. While we have the memory, might as well use it.
Memory of what?
Exactly. Yep.
All righty.
All right.
Okay.
Would you like to get to an actual feature? Let's see. What do we want to start
with? That? Are we going to start with that?
Do you want to start with that?
Yeah, come on, why not? Go on.
Right.
It's loosey-goosey. We're freewheeling.
We'll use your image. Here we go. All right, I got to find it.
All right, brace yourself, people. Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Here we go. All right.
Here we go.
All right. Here we go. All right.
Okie dokie.
Take it away.
No, I wish they did. Okay, so what we have here then is the newly released Netflix exclusive Apex, which dropped Friday. Yeah, I think it was Friday.
Was
Friday?
It? Yeah.
I think it was. Might have been Thursday or Friday. With our Charlize Theron, who we do like because she's been great in loads of decent movies that we've talked about.
Yeah.
And Taron Egerton, who also is usually very, very good. And this is in all the Dolby's, Vision.
Yep.
Can't tell from there. The reason, by the way, I took that picture is because it was the only static one. All the others, as soon as you get into it, it starts moving, and that was it. So, but take it from me, all the Dolby.
Let me, actually, I could pull. I'll throw up my image. Let me find mine. I got mine here.
Moving.
Got it.
That's
there we go.
Oh, okie dokie. Oh, there we go. Yep, there we go.
Yep.
So yeah, all the Dolbys, as we say. Yeah, fair play. So yeah, story then, as it says there. So what we have is Charlize Theron, who is a someone who has suffered a tragedy, and she finds herself in Australia a few months later, and she is exploring, I think, and she encounters Taron Egerton. This is all in the trailer. And he offers her some advice about a shortcut to take to get to where she's going. And wouldn't you know it, he's not a very nice person. And it then becomes a little bit of cat and mouse between Taron Egerton and Charlize Theron.
A little bit.
Who is it? Well, you know what I mean. Yeah, underselling it a bit. And then it's just and I think, as Dom just says, it's a brisk 90 minutes. It is a very short movie. It's fairly lean and mean, and on it goes. So I thought the movie was very, very mediocre.
I wouldn't call it brisk.
Yeah,
it was 90 minutes, and I'm like, how long is this going on?
Yeah, man. It just I think it's painfully stupid at times, like crazily stupid at times. And I say this as someone that loves thrash, but this is painfully, insultingly stupid at times. But also, I just thought there's a better movie in here struggling to get out. This needed another couple of drafts. And I'm not going to spoil it because I see Jordan hasn't seen it. But I just think that I would have liked to have known more about Charlize Theron's character. We never know anything about her at all.
No.
And I also think there is a better movie in here where, well, actually, we won't make it this specific. In movies like this, where you have one character, generally it's a lone female who is being targeted by males, which is a bit misogynistic in and of itself. But also, I think I would prefer a film where, because you've got bad guy that knows nothing about our heroine, and I think I would have liked it to have been, you think I'm a lone female, I'm vulnerable, you think you can do X, Y, Z to me. You don't know me. You don't know who I am. And you don't know what I've been through. And I've been through some stuff. And I'm going to show you what I've been through. And I'm going to teach you the error of your ways. That's a better movie for me, and more an even interesting movie than what we kind of get here with the vulnerable single female. I just find that's a bit reductive. So I had a problem with the story anyway. And then I think it just plays out in really stupid ways that don't make any sense at all. So I didn't enjoy the movie personally. Yeah, but it does look okay. I mean, it's Netflix, so you don't have to worry too much about how it looks and it sounds. And I get the impression that this was an actual Netflix production. This isn't one where they bought this from another studio like they did with Thrash or any one of a number of other movies. This, I think, was a Netflix production from the start. So they do shoot it in a very particular way, and they do make it sound good. And so, there's no issue there. It's just the story that's being told. With Charlize Theron, is she an A-lister, would you say? Oh, she's pretty close, isn't she? Kind of on the fringes, maybe.
I would say, like an A- lister or something. Like she's not. I mean, we've had this discussion before. Even when John, the three of us have been like, okay, like what do you? That's the problem. What do you consider A-listers, right? And not everybody can be A-listers. Like you'd say, like, okay, so let's set the bar at Tom Cruise. That's an A-lister, 100%. Nobody's arguing that.
Right? Yeah.
Right. But now, see, that's the thing. Now you're getting into, is he AAA? Is it? So you got Tom Cruise. You've got, just gonna where could you go from there? Like Christian Bale, Brad Pitt. There you go. George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise. Where would you throw Christian Bale? Ryan Gosling at the moment.
Yeah.
At the
Glenn
moment.
Powell?
Huh? Glenn Powell's getting there. He's getting there, but I don't think he's there yet. He's the up and coming next Tom Cruise, is what people are saying, right? So they're getting there, but it's they're like A-listers to me are like, I gotta see, it's automatic. Oh, who's making a movie?
Yeah.
Gotta see it.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
I would put even like a Charlize Theron would be like maybe even like a Gosling,
Mhm.
or like I wouldn't put them in a. They're not Brad Pitt,
Hmm.
right? You know, they're not George Clooney, but you know, so it's like I don't know. It's like it's how nitty gritty you're getting on it.
Well, like you see, I always think of an A-lister as someone that can open a film just on their name. So, like it kind of what you said, so they can
Yeah.
carry a movie just on their name, and I think Charlize Theron can since Fury Road. I think,
Well, they
you know,
say
she-
it like
she
even in the
fronted
description, Oscar winner Charlize Theron. It's
for
like
Monster,
okay,
isn't
she,
it? Monster?
yeah, and then yeah, Monster, and then now you go see this and go, well, where's the Oscar winner? Like,
You're true. Yes, indeed. Oh yes. But I think she is an A-lister, or certainly very close to it. You know, an A-. I'll go along with that. Taron Egerton, I think, is a B-lister. He can't open a movie on his own, and you know, no one I think would say that.
well, because
And so-
the first thing in your head would be like, okay, what's he been in? And you
Yeah,
start
like
to try and
Rocket Man-
remember. Whereas
Rocket
Charlize
Man
Theron,
Kingsman.
you'd be like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe that's the definition of an A-lister. Like right off the top of your head, you can list like 4 or 5 movies, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Where a B is like,
Yeah, Chris Pratt-esque. Yeah, Chris Pratt, I think certainly was an A-lister. I don't know if he quite is now, but he certainly
yeah, it
was.
can come and go,
That's good
but
choice.
you still know
Tom
who
Hanks?
he is. Tom Hanks,
Hanks.
definitely.
Got it. Well, sorry, we'll be doing this all right. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Yeah.
But yeah, we were. But I, given the talent involved and the kind of movie this is, I am surprised how schlocky and again, I'm sorry to say it, stupid this is, because I think it is stupid. But it's a shame because I think there's a better film here with a little bit more thought.
You know what I thought was interesting watching it, and it's like, and Dom's saying in the chat, he's like, yeah, I thought it flew by, and it was like, but he hated Thrash, and he watched these back to back. He was saying in the chat, and it's like, I felt like, see, the problem is like, I'll bet you Dom was able to sit down, relax, enjoy it. Not that I wasn't relaxed, but sit down, relax, and just let it wash over him. And we'll get to the home theater part of it, and that is very good. And I got a couple of notes on it, not written down, but like you said earlier. But to me, I was just taken out of it because exactly what you said before. There's zero backstory to like, why is Charlize Theron like this? What made her start? What made her this person? How in depth are we with like how adventurous is she? What is there's nothing. And then like the motivation of any of these characters, like Edgar, like why is he what? And what there was
They try and do something with him, don't they? They try to give him some, again, because again, sorry, I'm mindful of spoilers, but you know, she does talk about why she thinks he is how he and who he is.
Yeah.
And they try to do that, but they try and flesh him out, but not her at all.
No.
The only thing we know about her is her name.
Yeah.
That's all we ever know. And again, that does the film a disservice. And again, I think there's some misogyny in that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we don't really care about the woman.
I like the
wanna know about
title.
the man.
the play on words
It's
because
Predator, isn't it? Presumably.
yeah, exactly. It's the you know, and it's, but I just didn't feel like, I felt like, and you know, it's an hour and a half. Maybe if they made this 2 hours and fleshed some stuff out, no pun intended,
Yeah.
it would have been better. You know, like you could have gotten more information and cared more about the character and like, yeah, it was just weird. It was just like very, yeah, just very sketchy all the way.
Yeah,
through.
leaves a bit of a sour taste in the mouth in terms of how they treat her character as well. I think,
Yeah.
you know, because the whole thing is I'm a vulnerable single female,
Yeah.
and she's actually got very little agency as well. Everything is her reacting to something else.
Yeah.
And I yeah, it's not. It's a. I hesitate to use the word, but it is quite a nasty little film, I think, at times as well.
Yeah.
But again, I appreciate. I am quite sensitive to that kind of thing, but I just think there's a better way of doing this story without resorting to how they then portray this. And as I said, I would have liked movies like this to have this table turn. You know, I'm not what you think I am. I'm way more than that, and I'm going to show you what happens when you make those assumptions. that would have been a much better movie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
But
exactly.
far as
And
I'm
that's I was thinking the same thing, and it was like you take those assumptions and turn them on their head, and it was like it really didn't. It was yeah. So, but
anyway,
so along with what Dom's saying here is like he didn't care about that stuff. He goes, great scenery, great cinematography, action, and very enjoyable. So let's get into the home theater part of it, which I agree with you, Dom. I agree with you. The cinematography, the scenery, everything was great. Like you said, it's like Netflix is very good at shooting HDR. They're very for streaming. They know how to manipulate the, whatever they have to do to make HDR look and pop through a stream, whereas other people maybe not so much. Let's do the cinematography first, do the visuals first, because I do have a pretty cool thing I noticed in the audio that I really enjoyed with this. But yeah, the cinematography, the like you said, the scenery when they were shooting, like the beginning, when you have the wind, the sound, the going up the mountain, the look, everything, the feel, felt like you were there. The look, the black levels are very deep, and then you had, I think there was snow coming in, the stuff going across. I mean, it was crisp. And then you're looking at Australia the rest of the way, and I thought it was just gorgeous.
Yeah, although it did remind me of Wolf Creek quite a bit. And I suspect that was which is what I'm always talking about, the Australian serial killer movies and TV shows. It reminded me of that quite a bit, and I wonder whether there's been some inspiration from that for this, because it looks like it. The long shots of her driving up the long straight roads and all the kind of the desolate desert is all very Wolf Creek. But yeah, no, it does. It looks great. I don't have any complaints about how it looks or how it sounds. My issues with the story that it's being told. So yeah, no, I mean, you're not going to have a problem home theater wise.
No. The audio, the Atmos track, I thought
that's not my picture, Paul.
What's that?
That's Deej's picture, that one.
Yep. Yeah, that's the floor lamp. Exactly. Yeah, I've shown that. Every picture has it in it, sitting right there. Yep, that's the floor lamp. The lights were on when I took the picture. So that's funny. Sidetrack the show there.
Sorry.
It's so funny. The audio for the first part of the movie, I was like, it's kind of flat. Wasn't it super exciting? It had nice bass. Like I said, the opening scene, the storm coming in, nice rumble, the wind, there was nice texture of the wind, and the bass had a nice texture for that, whipping around the room. It was good. I nothing really to write home about, but the whole time I was like, all right, doesn't have the pop that I would have liked until they get to the main, like where it says hunt or be hunted, right? Yeah. So there's a hunt. Once the hunt went on, I was like, the room ramped up, and I swear that was purposeful. Did you feel that? Like all of a sudden it was like, the scene, he plays the music, you realize what's going to happen. And I was like, wow, the room popped right then. I was like, that I thought was cool.
Yeah. I was checking out of the movie by then, Deej, I think.
Dom, did you notice that, buddy? Because two of us were paying attention.
There you go. Let's see. Thrash sounded better than Apex for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, so the music that you've got to be with the calls that he's putting out, when he's making the bird calls and kind of stuff like that. That's great. The water coming down when they're in the canyons and the, all that sort of stuff. And again, none of that makes any sense about what's in the canyon. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Again, I'm thinking, so when did he have time to do that and put those there? And when did he do it? So you're strong enough to do that, are you? Okay, well, what? He's only a little bloke. But anyway, So as I said, I can't complain about the audio in the video. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine.
I wanted to know. There was one time, like her GPS goes out. Why? It's satellite. There's nothing overhead. GPS should only go out if you have coverage. She's out. It wasn't a desert, but it's like wide open. It's like it wasn't. Your GPS doesn't go out because cell towers. Your GPS goes out because it can't see the satellite. Where'd the sky go? I didn't like that. I was like, that's why GPS was designed for exactly where she was. I was like, it didn't make sense.
Leaps of logic in this film are very few and far between.
Yeah. I could see cell service going out, but not GPS. That's not what that is.
You know, again, I mean, yeah. So yeah, it's just a movie that is weird. I mean, and again, Dom, I'm not criticizing you, buddy. You know, you and I have got very similar tastes in these kinds of movies, but this particular one for me just was not. I kept thinking about, I've got a better story than this. There's a better movie in my head than the one I'm watching on screen. You know, it's one of those where at the end of it, I wanted to just ring Carl Ellsworth and go, Carl, get your pen.
Yeah.
I've got some ideas.
I got a rewrite here. The other thing is it possible that you're like, this is, you know, set an A-lister expectations, and you're like,
she's done genre stuff before. You know, she's done. You know, she's a very versatile actress. She seems to be somebody
Aeon Flux. I enjoyed that. She's done fun things that are outside of the Oscar winner purview. You know,
A Million Ways to Die in the West with Seth MacFarlane. I mean, she's great in that.
Yeah,
I mean, she's done a variety of movies. She's not afraid to
Italian Job. That was fun to remake.
Yeah.
Italian Job did that.
Absolutely. It's so she, you know, I don't think it's so much expectation. And I mean, I was expecting exploitation, not expectation. But as I said, but again, the thing with exploitation is they do play with these expectations as well. I mean, you look at I Spit on Your Grave, you look at movies like that where, I mean, again, I don't know if you've seen it, Deej, but where again, female treated one way, who then goes, well, you know what? No, I'm not having this.
Yeah.
And you then get the response, you know. And so I just think that was what I was struggling with all the way through. It was just like, well, we don't know anything about this woman. She seems to be capable, but she is a victim throughout this film.
Yeah. And
I don't like that. That feels reductive to me and feels a bit of a throwback. Now, if someone says to me, well, this is set in the 70s and it's a 70s view, you know, type of movie, I'd be like, well, okay, but it's not. And you can't really make movies like this now, I don't think, and expect people with sensibilities, modern sensibilities, to then enjoy them, in my view. But I, you know, as I said, it's just me. I am sensitive to it. I get that. And so it's more my problem than the filmmakers. But I think it could have been better. But there we go. Steve Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're both
with Steve on this one for a change. All right, Steve. All right, easy.
Yeah, there you go. I'm actually with Steve too. Look at that.
I think we need a shirt with this on, Deej.
Yeah, I'm with Steve with this.
For a change.
For a change. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. I think Dom seems to be the outlier. Paul's interested. Paul's saying he's interested. He's like, if it's fun, that's the thing, is this is set as a thriller. It's supposed to be tense. I didn't find it fun, and I didn't feel the tension. And that's where you're supposed to get that. I was too taken out of it, where I think this is where Dom enjoyed it. He felt the tension. He enjoyed it. He was having fun with the thing. And it's like, you know, and it could be one of those things like, you know, on a different day, in a different mood, I might have enjoyed it better. I'm not saying I was in a bad mood going into it, but you never know, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was ready to see it. I mean, I'd seen the trailer.
I was excited to see it when I saw you put it up. I love Charlize Theron. I love Netflix's stuff. I'm like, hey, you can't go wrong here. It's like,
and I normally like Taron Egerton as well. I mean, he's been in some great stuff.
Yeah,
you know, but here, I think he's been miscast in this, because I think if you're going to run this story, then let's have.
It's not a good psychopath.
Well, he's not. But he's no threat. He's a little wiry little guy. Like I think that he's trying to channel. Wolf Creek. He's trying to channel Mick. Oh God, what was he saying? He's trying to channel Mick from Wolf Creek, or De Niro in Cape Fear. Or, you know, these kinds of guys. I think he's trying to channel that. That's what he's going for. And I just think he's no physical threat, though, even as a little
Wolf
wiry
Creek.
guy.
Which one was that? Is that the one?
That's the thriller. That's the Australian serial killer movies and the TV shows.
Oh,
Mick Jarrett. That's who he's trying to.
Okay.
And he's trying to be. So he's because that's the Australian serial killer thing. And he's
Okay.
trying to channel that. He's trying to do a bit of Cape Fear. He's trying to do those kinds of.
What was the
role.
one that I think we reviewed it last year, and it was what's his name from Split and
James McAvoy?
yeah, what was the one where
Speak
he
No
was
Evil? Speak No Evil. Where he
Yeah.
was the dad of the kids.
Yeah. That's what that literally that reminded me of that in this. I was
Yeah,
thinking,
it's a
is
bit
he
of that.
trying to be like that? Like he's not a dad in this, Edgar's
No,
not a bad
but
dad,
that
but
kind of unhinged. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's just not. He doesn't carry it off for me. I don't think he
Yeah.
always, to me, throughout the film, I just thought, Charlie's just get him around the scruff of the neck and give him a slap, send him on his way.
Oh, yeah.
He's no
Well,
real-
that's
with his
the other thing.
crossbow.
It would have been, instead of being an adventure, like he had her in that one part where she was choking, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, I know, like it would have been nice to see a jujitsu. It's like it would have been so cool to see that, like where she whips that out of somewhere or something like that.
Yeah.
But instead, it was just, which is probably more realistic, but still, she got out of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or no, actually, that was the point. So that
Mhm.
actually, if you see the movie, you'll see what happened. But it's not,
Yeah.
it's
Just-
that's
I don't know,
interesting.
man. I just
Yeah.
as I said, there was a better story in there, in my view.
Yeah.
Just aching to get out. And once I had my head on that, I was just not then focusing on what actually happened enough,
Yeah.
because it's just like, well, is this it? But look, it's good to know people in the chat are saying, oh, do you know what? I think I'll check that out. Fair play
Yeah.
to you. I mean,
Yeah.
Paul Hurt, don't go subscribing to Netflix to see it, whatever you do,
No.
because it ain't that good. But it's it's one of those things that if you've got it there, you could do worse on a Friday night with a couple of beers,
Oh,
I
yeah.
suppose. And some,
If you have Netflix and you check it out in your theater, it's there's some good, obviously visuals, some good audio. It's fun, and give it a shot. I didn't find it as fun as Dom did, but I would say it was fun. But
yeah, fair enough.
all right, better than Casper. All righty then. Oh, let's see.
Okie dokie.
I want to check something quick here. See if displays. Nope, still not there. Okay.
All right.
I tried something while we were chatting. All right. What do you want to do next? Which one
Well,
would
shall
you
we
like?
do a threefer?
Reefer.
Oh,
What's that?
Okay, so
I
we've
gotta
got
put them in order.
we've got the
Not
that's
this
been
one.
there
I
for
want to do
ages.
this one for next week.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about earlier with the theatrical mix. We'll
Okay,
talk
let's
about
do that
next
one
week. Yeah,
first.
so
Okay.
top row you've got there, second in from the left. Top row, second in from the left. The left, sorry, next to that one on the left. That one. We'll do that one as a first one, and then we're
Okay.
going to do the two John Woo movies. You've got hopefully there as well. Yeah, I can see them there. So I don't know if you want to cue
Have you
those up,
dropped?
'cause then
All right, I'll
it's a
drop.
threefer. It's a Hong Kong movie threefer.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
Yeah, is that all right? Could you do that? So that's
Yeah,
the first
let me-
one, and then the
yeah,
next
I'm
two
trying-
in the middle on the right that were just
Okay.
there. In the middle, on the
All
right
now
hand
I'm
side.
trying to drop that. Why can't I take that and put it into?
So don't worry too much. We can't do it, DJ. It's just if we can.
No,
do it,
I
then
can do it. I'm just like,
Mhm.
why isn't it letting me drop it?
You got it, Mike. Yeah, Dom, you got it. Hong Kong, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do a
Oh,
Hong
there
Kong
we go.
movie.
Okay,
threefer.
so this
Hold
one
on.
in there. All right, it's
Yeah,
already
that's it.
there.
So
Don't
that
import.
one. Yep, and,
And
then,
then
you've got
you
the two in
want-
the middle on the right. In the middle on the right.
Right here. This one.
To that one, and then there's the one next to that one as well.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I can't quite see that, but I'm pretty sure
This
that's
one
it.
here.
Yeah, that's it. That's the other one, and
That's
then
the
the other
other
one, and then the one next to
All
it.
right. So
which
you
I
want
think-
to open with.
Yeah, let's do the more modern one. We're always going to go in reverse chronological order here.
So
But
this
it's
one
been
here
there for ages.
first.
Yep. Mhm.
Right.
That's the one.
All
Yep.
right. So we're gonna open with that.
Yep.
So we're gonna go in this order right here. Boom. Boom.
Yeah, that'll do. That's
or
fine.
do you
I mean,
want it?
it's not-
Or do you want those
we're going
last
to put
two
that one
reversed?
last. Yeah, please. Yeah, if that's okay, mate. Just
There you
that's,
go.
that ties it.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's better. Right. Groovy.
There we go.
Right. Okay.
So
All
we
right.
go.
HB is coming, Paul. HB is coming. Right. So, okay. So we'll start with this one then, guys, which has been in my to talk about list since the middle of February. And
Yeah.
we've got so much cool stuff since that it just keeps falling back down the list. But here we go.
Here we go.
Okie dokie. So this one then is The Shadow's Edge on 4K UHD disc. And because it's been a while, I don't think it's an Atmos. Let me just double check. I'm not trying to remember. No. Okay. DTS HD 5.1 master audio. So up next to DuralX, but 4K UHD disc. And what's cool about this, Deej, is this is another one of those slightly more high concept, modern Hong Kong action movies. And we reviewed a while back, but you and John saw it, which was Raging Fire. Remember that with Donnie Yen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was, it's one of these quite high budget, quite, high concept, slightly aging Hong Kong action star in a movie that they've spent some money on and tried to do something different with. And this is Jackie Chan's version of, I think, something like Raging Fire. And it came out of nowhere for me. I didn't know anything about this. I think actually Jordan, it might have been Jordan that mentioned it to me, or I saw it somewhere. You're right, Disney, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's all right. So I think Jordan mentioned it, and then I'd seen the trailer, or I saw the trailer, and then Jordan mentioned it. One of the things, anyway. And I went out and I purchased this, and I was looking forward to it because the trailer makes it look really good. And it's you've got a very cliched story, as all these things tend to be. So you've got you've got the new breed of young cop who finds himself facing an old school adversary who they just can't deal with. It's all a bit Demolition Man, really.
Yeah.
With no seashells, right? And they can't deal with it. So what do? Well, we need to bring in an old school cop to take on send a maniac to catch a maniac. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in comes octogenarian, not quite, Jackie Chan. And he's coming in to try and save the day. But what you do get here, and this is one of the cool things about this, is that Jackie Chan's movies, for the longest time, are all comedy, and they're great fun. But quite a bit of me wanted to see something a bit more serious. We had The Foreigner, which I reviewed last year, and then we get this. And so there's not many laughs in this. This isn't played for comedy. This is played as a straight kind of serial killer action movie, and it's a really enjoyable story. It's really good. It's in Mandarin. I mean, I'm sure you could get a dubbed version, but it's in its original language, it's subtitled. But it's a really well told story. The action is done really well. It's exciting. It's interesting, and because they've spent money on this, it looks awesome. I mean, Hong Kong's never looked more sleek and kind of attractive as a modern city. It looks great. The audio is really good. There's loads of gunshots. Obviously, all the punching and the kicking, really, you feel that kind of those blows going in. I really enjoyed this, and again, I'm going to see it again quite soon. I thought this was really, really decent, and it's worth seeing. And again, if you did enjoy Raging Fire, and I know you and John both did,
yeah,
and if it's available over there, Deej, I don't know how easy it is to get over there, but if
it's
you
not on Kaleidoscape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but it would be worth seeing this. It's genuinely good. It's a really well told film, way better than I expected, and you can see the blood all on his face there. I mean, there are some proper knock him down, drag him out fights in this, which you're not really used to seeing with Jackie Chan generally. And I thought it was great. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a really cool find. This again, thanks to Jordan, I think it was. And I'm glad I picked it up, and I'll look forward to watching it again, as I have with Raging Fire and things like that. So, yeah, definitely recommend.
I love Jackie Chan too. What year did this come out? This is
this year or 2024, 2025.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's brand new. Yeah, it's like that. I'll tell you what, let's double check now. I think it might have even been this year. Shadow's Edge, 2025. So last year. There you go. So it's a modern film, modern sensibilities. Like I said, it looks. They've spent a lot of money on this. It's not one of your down and dirty Hong Kong movies. This is those, like I say, the ones where they spent money on them, making them look like a Hollywood production.
Nice.
So yeah, it's really, really good. Definitely recommend this. So yeah, it's cool.
Cool.
All right, so
that's
now the first one.
On to the next one.
Going back in time. Okay. So now let me take you on a journey, Deej. Let me take you on a journey. We're getting in our time machine. Yeah. And we are going back to the heady days of 1989.
Nice. Oh,
yeah.
I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah. I was 14. We'd just gone out to Spain.
I was 19. Pretending I was 21. And
fake IDs.
I was an art student. Had them at the ready.
Yeah. Look at my drawing. Look at how good this is. Top quality. I like it. Yeah. So this then is John Woo's The Killer. Okay. And now I have to confess, and again, apologies to everyone. I like to be open and honest because this is a safe space.
Not a big fan of doves.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah. So that I'd never seen this. And I appreciate it's an action classic, and I had heard of it and I had read about it, but I had never seen it. And so this is in 4K disc, again, UHD. I think this is, again, DTSHD. Let me double check because I know that one of them's got, I think it's got an Atmos track. Yeah, okay, so this is DTSHD mono. So up next to Neural X. So my first viewing of it, and of course I love John Woo. His
1989 Chinese 4K SDR Dolby Vision in Chinese PCM stereo on Kaleidoscape.
Okay, yeah. So it's DTS HD MA mono on disc, but
PCM stereo on Kaleidoscape.
Well, there we go. My first watch of this. It's a very. Bear in mind, I only watched it once. Everybody, as I said, I mean, I really enjoyed it. That's what I will say. I did thoroughly enjoy it. It's very idiosyncratic. It's odd. It's different. The operatic stuff's a bit weird, and the singing's a bit odd. But I went along with it, and I have to say I did enjoy it. I mean, so many people get wasted in this. There are people getting killed left, right, and
that
center.
Kind of wasted. Okay.
Yeah, well, you were getting wasted. People in this are getting wasted in those early days. But yeah, so many people get killed in this. I mean, it's just constant, just chaos. But it was really, really enjoyable. Chow Yun-fat was great in it. John Woo's done a great job. There are doves everywhere. There's slow-mo. There's a church in it. I mean, it's Face Off all day long. The end of Face Off in the church. I mean, this is it must have been a direct reference to The Killer, surely. And so you get all of that. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the time flew by, and I thought it was great. Now, in terms of the video, so 4K video, HDR. Now, of course, I've got no frame of reference. So I haven't seen earlier versions of this because I'd never seen it before. So I don't know what it's looked like before. And I am aware of, with this and the next one we're going to talk about, that it seems, and Jordan and I had a long DM exchange about this, it seems as though everybody's got their own favorite version of these. So that, some prefer how it looked on that edition and some prefer how it looked on that edition. And, but I could only go on this because I've not seen any of the others. And I thought it looked really, really good. For a movie from 89, a Hong Kong movie, which would have been a shoestring budget, it looks great. Loads of detail. It's 185, so it fills the screen. You've got lots of detail on Chow Yun-fat's face and all that kind of stuff. So it looks great. Now, the sound, it sounds like you would imagine a Hong Kong movie from 1989 on a shoestring budget would sound, which is everything is right at the front of the room. And I don't think I even spotted any. I mean, it was up next to Neural X, but you wouldn't have known it. It's all very front heavy, which I'm sure is what it was meant to be. And that's fine because it is somehow it just goes with the type of film that it is. So I thoroughly enjoyed it and I thought it looked great. And obviously I will defer to anybody else who has seen it before that says, oh, it's not as good as, the other version. Fine. If you say so, great. I haven't seen it. I don't know. But I thought this looked great. And I'm very, very glad I own it. I'm very glad I've now seen it, because this is one of those movies to tick off of the movies you really do need to see if you're an action movie fan. So thought it was great. Yeah, very, very cool. Have you seen this, Deej?
No, I don't think so. No, especially where it's not that I know of. It's not in English that I've seen, so I don't remember seeing it dubbed or even in. No, I haven't seen it at all.
But if you can,
I feel like I should have though.
Well, yeah, bearing in mind that you're a John Woo fan and you like his movies as much as, anybody else, I think you would get a kick out of this. As I said, it is a bit idiosyncratic. It is a bit odd. Yeah. But the action is great and really inventive and all kinds of fun. And again, it's quite fun watching it going, oh, that was in Broken Arrow. That was in Mission Impossible 2. Ooh, I remember that bit from Face Off. And Hard Target. There we go. I saw that, and it's quite fun to play that game as well as you're watching it.
It's very, very I was surprised where you're like, oh, it's this older movie, blah, blah. But yeah, it's 4K with Dolby Vision on Kaleidoscape in a stereo mix.
How much is it, Deej?
$14.99.
Okay, well, not bad. It's worth. It'd be worth seeing.
Chow
And again,
Yun-fat,
John, if you're
Danny
listening,
Lee.
John, when you
Yeah.
so with John, if you listen to this back, again, I think you'd get a kick out of it as well. I think because he loves these kind of movies too, as we all do.
Yeah.
And this really, we should have probably put this in our Kung Fu season last year or whenever it was, but it wasn't out then, of course. But it's a sort of it belongs within that kind of type of movie.
He did
Really.
another one. Did you know that?
Did he?
John Woo, The Killer.
Yeah.
From 2024.
There are different ones. It was a remake version of it. I think. Yeah, it was a TV series, wasn't it, or a film? It might have been a series.
No, this one's in 4K, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. And 14. That one's $14.99 as well. Directed by John Woo, written by multiple people, but including John Woo, Sam Worthington, Nathalie Emmanuel is the lead cast. Omar Sy, Sam Worthington, Diana Sivers. But that's from 2024. But it sounds like it says from action director John Woo comes the thrilling tale of an assassin turned target of a criminal manhunt after refusing an assignment.
There you go. Yeah.
A little different than this one.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah.
Okay. So that's our second fur. So now move on for our three fur.
All right, here we go.
Last but very much not least.
Yeah.
And this brings us on to what everybody who is anybody that is a fan of action cinema says is the John Woo movie to see. And this is the 4K UHD version of Hard Boiled, which was 92, I think it was, 1992. And again, Deej, heard of this, seen this, know anything about this?
I've heard of it. I don't believe I've seen this one.
Okay. Well,
they must have done a whole thing. This is also on Kaleidoscape 4K, HDR10, Dolby Vision, PCM, stereo, Chinese audio. So same thing. It looks like the same kind of cover as the last one. So yeah.
Well, this one then again, as with The Killer, this was the first time I'd seen this, and I'm even more ashamed to say that about this movie. This is on, I think, is it the American Film Institute's top 1,000 movies to see before you die or something, or top 100 movies to see before you die. This is in that list. And Empire Magazine, swear by this film, and lots of people do, but I had never seen it, and I don't know why. Because again, Hong Kong movie fan, I like these sorts of films. Love John Woo. Seen all his Hollywood movies and own them, so I don't know why this had never come into my purview. But then, having then been released on 4K, it's like, well, it's now or never. Why would you not now want to see what most people regard as a stone cold classic? So I bought it and I watched this a couple of nights after The Killer. I did them in chronological order, and in many ways, they are similar films. I mean, it's not just the director. It's Chow Yun-fat. You've got, it's a similar kind of thing. But this is an awesome, awesome movie, and there is no question. I mean, as you're watching it, I could see why this is an instant classic when it came out in 92, and I can see why Hollywood execs were falling all over themselves to get John Woo to then come to Hollywood to then start making their movies. When you see how this is done, I mean, it is fantastic. It's a cop movie, again, I mean, you heard it all before. You've got Chow Yun-fat, police officer, plays by his own rules, also plays the clarinet slightly oddly, but anyway, plays by his own rules. And he's and there's an undercover cop who may or may not be a kind of a good guy. And then, wouldn't you know, the two of them meet, and then they've got to team up to take on the bad guys. And in between that, everybody gets killed. It's just people getting killed left and right. And it's awesome. And what I love about it most is not only is the combat so inventive in terms of the gunplay. I mean, there is kung fu in it, but it's mainly gunplay. But not only is it incredibly inventive, what is cool is after I'd seen it, I looked it up on IMDb, and most of the action scenes were made up on the spot. They just choreographed them as they went. They didn't have these all kind of storyboarded. They would literally turn up and go, right, what should we do now? And John Woo would be like, right, shoot there. Oh, come in, do this. And there's a famous scene I now know where Chow Yun-fat slides down a banister with his shooting his guns, and he just improvised that on the spot. And they just keep filming it, just go, and it looks amazing, and it's very, very cool.
He just
And-
improvised sliding down a banister,
firing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it.
funny.
Yeah. That freewheeling, with a movie that must have cost some money because of what's going on in this. But I also, I think there were issues with the script, so they were kind of making this up as they went along, but Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole extended sequence at the end in a hospital, which goes very Die Hard, but with ultra action and gunplay and everything else. I thought this was fantastic, and all the way through it, I'm just thinking, okay, that's why it's a classic. That's why you have to see this if you're a fan of action cinema. That's what people are talking about, and I loved it. And it's 185. Looks, again, with no frame of reference. Again, I know there are other versions people like better than this one. It's all been all over Twitter. But with no frame of reference, it looks beautiful to me. It looked great, really crisp, really detailed. Colors look good. Shadow details will all look great, for a film of this vintage and this budget. But I would agree with people in the chat. This is in Dolby Atmos, right? Is it hell? You can almost think that the speakers are not working, that you're only your front three are working, maybe
Right.
even your front one. I didn't catch, and bear in mind, there's loads of action in this, but I didn't catch a single surround effect or overhead effect, not one throughout the movie. But again, to me, that just evokes the type of film this is. I think to give it a full ball surround would have been a bit weird. It's not what it's meant to be.
Well, people are already talking about that in the chat a little bit.
Yeah, so I get excited. I haven't looked.
Paul said in the chat, he's like, all you need is three speakers. You could run Atmos.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, technically, it goes all the way down to mono. It's like, because Atmos is just a codec. So if they wanted to make it mono, it could still just be an Atmos, which is just, that's the way it plays. It's like, and to your point, it's like, just because it's an Atmos, it doesn't mean that they utilized all the channels. They don't have to. And it's like, it's up to the artist, the sound designer on their end to, how am I going to manipulate this? Just like it's 5.1, they don't have to use all 5 channels. They don't have to use the LFE. They don't, there's a lot to it. It's like, just because it's Atmos, it doesn't mean that everything is going to be utilized, but it's just a codec. That's all it is.
Well, that's never been more clear than when you're watching this. It is all right at the very front. But as I said, that's part of its charm. Like I said, I see why this is a masterpiece. And if you're only going to get a chance to each to watch one, watch this one. And I think you'll get to the end of this and you're going to be like, wow. Okay, I think not only now do I want to see The Killer, but I now also want to watch Hard Target, Broken Arrow, Mission Impossible 2. I need to see Face Off again, and go on. I mean, I did think about doing a mini Woo season, but so many other movies came along after that I never got to it. But it's so good. Woo. So, it's the Marvel Wooniverse.
Yeah, I think Broken Arrow, was the first movie where I was introduced to John Woo, where it got explained to me, like his the slow motion, the doves, the shots, his style. It was the first time that I actually, and it was probably a laser disc, probably watching the extras and stuffs, going back to that, we're talking about that. That's where I was introduced to what the John Woo style was. So then every movie after that, but I think it was Broken Arrow was the first one where I was really conscious.
Now Hard Target came first. He did Hard Target for obviously Van Damme and Lance Henriksen. But so that was chronologically the first one.
I probably saw it, but I just didn't recognize John Woo's style right at the time. I was just like, oh, okay.
I see. I now that I think about it, I don't. Now I did see Broken Arrow in theaters. I did. I remember seeing it in theaters, but I wonder if I saw.
That's a fun movie.
It's a great movie. I love it. And of course, that's where the Ain't It Cool comes from, isn't it? For the Ain't It Cool News, where Travolta says, "Yeah, ain't it cool?" And that's where Ain't It Cool News got their thing from. But I think the one that always sticks in my mind is the most John Woo, before MI2, which I think is the absolute pinnacle. Is Face Off. I mean, I think Face Off is just him. And again, having seen Face Off as many times, I've got the 4K disc of that, Kino Lorber version of that. Watching this Hard Boiled and The Killer, you know, you're just like, oh, that's from Face Off, that's from Face Off, that's from
Yeah.
Face Off. Well, you know, obviously Face Off's from this, but you know what I mean. And even down to the biblical references and the singing and that sort of stuff is all very much rooted in this. So yeah, it's so good. This was cool. And again, I appreciate everybody in the chat and Dominic, not Dom, Jordan, sorry, but Dom as well, but Jordan, for kind of putting these on my radar and then telling me these are coming out in 4K and then making me then want to go see them. And I'm so glad people referenced it and recommended it, because these are definitely movies to see. This one in particular, Deej, is awesome. And I think you could just see this. It's just under 2 hours, I think. And you could see this one, if not the others. And I think you'll instantly realize why people talk about this movie in the way that they do, because it's awesome. So yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, maybe I'll grab. It's $14.99 as well on Kaleidoscape. It doesn't have Atmos, but as you were saying, I mean, it's PCM
it
stereo.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right? It's like the PCM stereo might be better. But yeah,
the other thing to be wary of, apparently, that not only are there different, transfers of this film, there are also different subtitle variations as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only other thing. Apparently, this is me reading up on it afterwards. So apparently there are versions with different subtitles, some more accurate than others. But I think we've got to think the Shout version, which is what this is got to be one of the most accurate. And I'm sure the Kaleidoscape version is not going to be some made up.
Yep. So Kaleidoscape is the Shout factory version.
Right, there we go.
That's the studio, and it's like I said, it's just PCM stereo, but it has English subtitles in 4K. So yeah. So yeah, cool. Yeah, Shout Factory. So
a lot of fun. It's really good. A lot of fun in the theater room.
Oops, what did I do?
Oh, you're right.
Yep. What did I
you
do?
put together a playlist for us. Thanks, Deej.
There we go. Yeah, I don't even know what that was.
Okay.
Technical difficulties back here. All right. What do we have? How do I get my?
Well, so looking at the time, do you want to get to that one?
The one, yeah.
The one.
The one. They can be
a whole show. That's good.
I know. We could. What the heck is going on here? I can't do this.
Yeah, Paul says you'll be fine with PCM stereo. Trust me.
Yeah.
I agree, Paul. I agree.
What happened to my albums? What the?
We've got Easy HT Tech dropping in saying hello. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Easy. Oh, hey. How we doing? I'm having technical difficulties here, buddy.
Okay, right. No worries. Okay, well, we're going to be talking about.
There we go.
While you're doing that, you found it, or I can talk a bit more.
I think I did. Oh,
got it. Yeah.
Did I?
There. So this next film, which we're going to talk about, then is I had not heard of this film, and Paul Hurt will know exactly which one I'm talking about because he was there. I had not heard of this film until, and by the way, this is an Oscar-nominated movie, both for Best Film this year and Best Actress and Best Actor, I think, as well, or Supporting Actor. And I hadn't heard of this film until one T. Anderson, Todd himself, just said to me, Steve, have you seen this film? And I said, what film? And he told me what it was, and I said, no. And I ordered it then and there, and it arrived the next day, and it did take me a little while to get to it. But then having got to it,
then it was John that brought it up to us. John said he saw it, so I bought it right then. You hadn't told me about your that Todd's recommendation yet. Yeah. And then it was like, oh, okay, so I'll try that. And it's so I watched it, and here, I'll pull up your image first, and we'll get right to it, seeing that. We go.
Okay, so as Dom correctly points out and correctly predicts, this is the 2025 film Bugonia, which of course isn't on there because it's just for some reason it's not got the title on it, but that is what the film is. Yeah, so Bugonia with Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, and Yorgos Lanthimos, I think, directed it. Yes, what a film. Now, the only problem, though, Deej, is this. Todd said to me, and I think I agree with him, the less you know about this movie going into it, the more you're going to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And he said, don't see the trailers, don't watch it, don't read any of the reviews,
Nope.
just go
Nope.
see it. So I don't think we can sensibly talk about the movie because of the dangers of that. Other than, I think, can we both say though, Deej? Well, actually, I'll say from my point of view, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen.
Yeah.
I was my attention never wavered for a second, and it is almost, if not actually, an instant modern horror masterpiece. And I guessed where it was going within about 5 minutes, which Todd and I talked about via text. I mean, I knew exactly what this was, but I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed this film in terms of my engagement with it. It is fantastic. I don't think I've been as wrapped in a movie of this type since Midsommar, where it's kind of just like every second, every frame is, you're kind of wallowing in this world. It's superb and should have won Best Picture over, and hell, I do like, One Battle After Another, but this,
I do like this better than One Battle After Another.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I see it? I saw it like 3 weeks ago now. But yeah, I thought this is a movie like, I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I know John didn't enjoy it as much as we did. Yeah. So I was like, okay. I was really excited at the end of this movie. It's a Takeover Tuesday all day long, and you and I were going to do a spoiler version like we've done before, but I could talk about this all day. But you're right. If you don't know anything going in, you're better off. There is a movie, I'll talk to you off. I think I might have already mentioned it to you, but there's a movie that's very similar to it, right?
It occurred to me as I was watching it as well. Yeah.
And it's like, but you can't say that to somebody, because once you do, it will ruin the movie.
If they've seen that film, yes.
If they've seen it, it's almost identical. And I'm not giving a spoiler here, because if you've seen that movie, when you're watching this, you'll be like, I thought of it. Nobody had mentioned it to me. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, it is what it is, but it is really good. And I thought the performances by everybody were amazing. By the end of it, you're like, what a great performance. What you grab some images that right here that they're beautiful. But the gore, there is gore. And I think that is captured even. I mean, these are nice images that we can show here, but I thought it's violent, it's gory, but can you say tastefully done?
Well, I think it's shocking in it. I'll be very careful kind of what we're choosing in terms to say. It is, I think that the violence and the gore is shocking because it comes out of nowhere.
That's what I mean.
And I'm thinking the very first bit of violence that you see is I can't appreciate with the work that I do, is everyday violence in the work that I do, right?
Yeah.
But it comes out of nowhere to the point where, DJ, again, bear in mind, I've seen lots of horror movies. It actually made me jump, where it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
This is the very first action to someone's reaction, if that makes sense.
If we're talking about, there's one particular scene that it's not a jump scare, but you have a visceral. I was like, oh my God, it's a jump, and the characters in the movie are the same. Like, you're reacting with them. It's that good. And the violent in the gore in that, the one I'm thinking of no pun intended, is like accurate, disgusting, and like, but I mean, the detail that you get with the image quality on your display is like, oh, Yeah.
Well, let's talk image quality then, because again, I'm wary of spoilers because I don't want to do, because it wasn't spoiled for me, and I'm so glad it wasn't, and I'm wary of it. But as I say, when the violence does come, it's very shocking in the way exactly how it should be, and it's not fantastical violence. There is some of that, which I think is what you're talking about there in terms of what happens there.
Yeah.
But there's an earlier bit where a character just does something to another character without warning, that I think is incredibly visceral and really shocking, and in its mundanity, if that makes sense, if that's even a word, right? I know, but so awesome film, absolutely awesome film. Now the video quality is, when I first put it on, so it's shot in 150:1.
Yeah.
Is what this is now. What that means is it's not 4:3. It's not, so you've got bars at the side of the screen.
Yeah, your pillars.
Now it's not.
Yep.
Yes. Now it's not 4:3. So they're not as thick as that. It's a slightly wider than 4:3. But
Right.
it is, nevertheless, you've got bars
but
top and bottom.
taller. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's because it was shot, I have since learned, in VistaVision, which is by the way, same as One Battle After Another. So shot in VistaVision, which is this ultra detailed format. And as soon as I turned this on, now again, bear in mind, hadn't seen a frame of it, knew nothing about it at all. Now, initially, I was a little bit disappointed because I saw the bars down the side. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
really?
And you could see here the bars down the side.
Yeah, exactly. But initially I thought, oh no, right, okay. But then I thought, well, maybe it's just the opening bit. Maybe this is just for mood. But of course, very quickly realized, no, this is what it's in. And yet I think it's a very clever and very subtle way of bringing you into the movie. And before long, I had forgotten they were there and was just wallowing in this. Because what you get is a ludicrously detailed image. I mean, those pictures there don't really do it justice. I mean, if you're listening to this on Friday or whenever, do yourself a favor, go to YouTube and have a little look at this. What are we, 1 hour and 45 minutes in, if you want a timestamp for this?
Yeah, 145, 146 we just turned.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you want to see these images now, this gives you a hint. Bear in mind, these were taken with mobile phone off my screen, as you can tell, but it gives you a hint of the extreme detail that this movie has, and it revels in these close-ups and the distress of the skin, of the makeup, of the character is enhanced no end by the level of detail. It's crazy, and so much so deep. These shots are of Emma Stone.
This shot here in particular is like, if you're watching it on YouTube and you haven't seen the movie, you may think this scene, like this image, is like a little bit blown out, right? Like YouTube is screwing. It's really not that. This is what it looked like, but I think Steve took this image because look at her forehead, look at the detail, and it's like, to get that level of, like, in this image, you're seeing she has had something on her head pushing so hard that it's like it's left that indent, that impression in her head. And it's like, and then the look on her face and the makeup, it's like clearly she's been crying or whatever. It's the detail is just amazing. Never mind the vibrancy, the saturation of color, everything here. It's just like, check out that detail, the pores. And then when you look at this one, it's same thing. It's like, now I'm looking at it here on my laptop, the image, I'm looking at it clean from here, and the detail is amazing. What I'm seeing on the stream, it's like, maybe you're not getting the detail. I don't know, but maybe you're not getting the detail of the white of her cheek and stuff like that. But it's like, what you're getting at home is, it's like you said, it's like, and that, like the pillar box, I didn't think it was subtle. Like, you're like, it's subtly pulling you in. It's like, now doing, as I've said before, having the OLED, there was nothing. This just image was there, and I'm looking at it, and it makes your head move this way, up and down, instead of like where you have a widescreen, instead of looking at a landscape and looking side to side and like, oh, enjoy this is like, think of this image, sit close to your screen, and it's like that IMAX experience, that pillar box, and you're looking at Emma Stone's face is larger than life with all of that detail. It's like, oh my, it really was. It takes me back to Oppenheimer and how he was doing the same thing in the IMAX shots, and you're looking in the detail and using those cameras and getting the close up of well, Robert Downey Jr. and
Cillian
all
Murphy. Yeah.
Cillian Murphy, that scene where it's like, and when you talk about behind the scenes, you see in Oppenheimer where they have the camera like this close to Cillian Murphy's face when he's giving that speech at the end, and it's like, but it's like, oh, and you get the same thing here. It's just awesome.
Yes, that sort of shallow depth of field where even across the face, some of it's in focus,
Yeah.
some of it's not. I mean, what was entrancing me about that picture, one of the reasons I took that one, sorry, the one for Dorian, is the smudge of makeup on her, just by her right nostril there. And I was watching that to see if that changed from shot to shot, and it doesn't.
Yeah,
so they must have done
continuity,
this all in one go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that, that little smudge on the nose, it's hypnotic.
Yeah.
And it's all deliberate. All this has been done for you to just lose yourself in the kind of the maniacal behavior that she's being subjected to and exhibiting. I was transfixed. I was blown away by this. The image quality, as I said, is awesome. And then the audio. So the audio, I mean, now, again, it was a while ago I saw it, but I remember it being very good. I can't think of any particular things of it other than some of the stuff coming out of nowhere. There's the is it the bees?
The jump scene, the bees, definitely.
Yeah, they fly
but
around
that jump scene was, the audio in that is just as much. I mean, I would say, as we go back, and like John and I would say 70% of the experience is the sound. That jump scene that we were talking about is definitely that. I would say it's like, I mean, that was very impactful audio. And then, but I felt that jump, those scenes, it all comes from, there's times when it's dead silent, right? And you're like, it is just quiet. And I really enjoyed this movie more having taken the rack out of the room, not having fans go. I mean, it is just dead silent in the room. So you really get that noise floor being lowered and really getting to experience the dynamics that they used with this movie. It was like, really good.
So well done. I mean, and the music as well, the kind of lilting off kilter music as well, is very well done. It is a masterpiece for me. I was blown away by this on first viewing. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. You've got to be careful who you watch it with, though, because I think a number of people, if they're not ready for this, will struggle with this. I think that this goes to places that I don't think everyone is expecting or is indeed even ready for. I think this has a quality. Again, I would say, and again, Jordan won't agree with me, I know, and you may not either, Deej, but again, I would say this is a movie for home theater, not a movie for commercial theaters. Because if you're watching this and there's phones going off and there's people talking, coming in and out and all that
distraction,
hypnotic thing that it's building up just goes in an instant. And I think there's a fine line between really enjoying this and then thinking it's silly. I think if you get taken out of it even for a second, it's gone. Spell is broken. But in a home theater, lights out, sound up, no distractions. It is mind-blowingly good. Very.
You know what else was like that was what was the Netflix one that kept repeating?
The nuclear one.
Yeah, exactly.
Something. How can we have forgotten already? Idris Elba, Rebecca Ferguson.
It was one of our movies of the year.
Yeah, what they said.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was like that. Like the concentration is so important to this that you're right. If you are taken out of it, that it's just it's not the same. And and maybe that jump scare might not happen, anything like that. But it's so dependent.
House of Dynamite, Deej.
There you go. Yep. Did somebody say in the chat?
No, I just typed in Idris Elba into IMDb.
Oh yeah, there you go. But yeah, it is really, really well done. And I agree. I'm like, I see why it didn't get the Oscar. I think it didn't have the names that the Oscar winner did. What was the name of it again? Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, you got everybody. Sean Penn, DiCaprio. That movie Had
Jesse
everything.
Plemons in this and Emma Stone in this. I mean, they're just they go to places that
Yeah.
some actors just would be like, no. I
Yeah.
mean, Emma Stone, I mean, we've seen with those pictures, she undergoes a physical transformation in this.
Yeah.
That's not a bowl cap she's wearing. It
No,
happened.
I remember she presented at like the Academy Awards years ago, whatever, when they were making this movie. And I remember her with, and she wore it. And it was like she walked around like that, like it, and it was almost like, I read the stuff on IMDb about it. Like when they shave her head, they shot that live. Like it was like, here we go, we're gonna do this, and she was nervous. She wasn't sure she wanted to do it, but then once she did it, she was. I think you and I talked about it later, but it was like she's done stuff like, she goes, that was probably one of the most impactful but easiest transformations that she's had to do for movies, because she's like, put on 15 pounds of muscle, that's hard. Shave your head, all right. It's like after the fact, it was very hard for her to do, right?
Yeah.
But then once she did it, she was like, that was she felt like free or whatever. But
Liberated,
but
empowered. Yeah, which is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But so she does her physical transformation as well as and she, again, for reasons we can't go into, her performance is multi-layered and definitely will bear repeat viewings. Not that I hadn't figured it out very quickly, but still. But Jesse Plemons as well. I mean, his tics, his the way he physically inhabits that role. I mean, it's an incredible
his commitment.
performance.
Right? It not just it, like his commitment to the role, but then the character's commitment to the goal. And you're like, how is he doing? Like, there's stuff when you see this movie, no spoilers or anything, but there's stuff that's done that you're like, why would anybody do that? Right? No, wait. But then you're like, the commitment of the character to what he believes and this and that. And then for, Jesse to play it that way and to execute it. And then Emma playing off of that. And it really is. It's like, again, it's a Takeover Tuesday for sure.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's so well
it's
done.
A watch along.
We
could do our own commentary watch along where we obviously we can't show it, but we could be like, oh yeah, I remember this part here. We could do our,
because it has interesting it has elements again. I mean, this is obviously my frame of reference is the work that I do, but there's elements of coercive and controlling behavior. There is, but not just, by the way, from one character to another. I think everybody's doing this to everybody else. There's domestic violence. You've got the way in which you've got manipulation. You've got control. There is so much going on in this. And again, as I was watching, I'm thinking, right, who is controlling who? Where is the manipulation here? Where is this coercion? I could talk about this film all day. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. It's the only word I could break it down to. Because it's stunning as an achievement. And I loved it. And I love that it's a great home theater experience as well. And again, as I said, it is a home theater experience. This is not for commercial cinemas. Even in an art house cinema, I wouldn't want someone else gasping or talking or, I wouldn't want a single noise other than me watching the movie and just engaging with it. It's definitely a better experience. And I dare to say, I mean, I don't know him, never met him, but I'll bet you Yorgos Lanthimos, the director, would say the same, which is we want you to engage with that screen and nothing else for the runtime of this movie, and let's see where we can take you. And with this film, that's quite a few places.
little bit.
And again, no spoilers, but as for the ending shots as well, I think those are incredibly impactful.
Oh yeah.
And actually very difficult to see. A couple of those are actually really quite hard to see because of the subject matter. But just exceptional. But I'd love to get John on so we could find out why he didn't feel it. You know what I mean? It would be great to know.
Well, I talked to him a little bit about one of the ending scenes. I said him and I agreed on. I'm like, oh, there's the one I want. But we were laughing. I'm like, he's like, I thought the same thing. Like, I know you did. But there was, it was very, that's that. I don't want to give anything away, but Yeah. I mean, that gets into everything you just said about manipulation and control and stuff like that. And then when you're done experiencing the movie as a whole, it's like that's part of the discussion because now you get into why, what's the motivation for the manipulation, right?
Yeah.
Like, why are, like, you know, you and I have talked many times about that in personal lives and stuff, like why do people do what they do and why are they do they feel they have to control stuff like that. But then watching this movie, you're like, okay, that's interesting. So yeah.
Well, yeah, well, quite in terms of the calling that someone feels. I mean, you know, the classic coercive and controlling behavior that I encounter is, well, if you're not, if I can't have you, no one else will, or you know, you're gonna be mine, and I'm gonna make you mine, and you're gonna do what I do. Whereas this then has that plus the higher calling element to it as well. This is someone who feels he's on a mission. You know,
exactly.
That all has all the extra bits to it as well, and there are political elements to it too. If you want to see them there, it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. People could write theses on this movie. There's a whole thing here. In terms of control and how it's being exercised and by whom, because of course it's not as it seems. So so good,
so good.
Oh man,
I'm sure we'll be talking about this again. What do you think? Home theater experience of the year? Is
Video,
that tough?
Video, yes. Audio, not quite. I mean, in terms of
I have to see it again and be it, because what I like about it, why I'm contemplating on adding it, which at the end of the year where we get 10, if you're just contemplating now, it's probably not going to make it, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
where it's shot in with the pillow bars, that enhance, I mean, it's part of the movie. You know, there are people that I don't like that, you know, like Travis, probably not going to like it with a scope screen. It's not giving you that taller experience. But that's part of the experience, right? And it's like, so that plays into it. The quality of the image that you're getting plays into it. And then on a second watch, I have to go back and listen to the low part. How does the audio, does that add that much more to it where it might not be as dynamic as like, or like an action movie, but the full, I mean, one, you have what could have been and should have been maybe the Oscar winner. So you've got the movie quality, but then the video quality and using the video as part of, it's one of the characters. And now is the audio to, you know, maybe we were so taken aback by everything else, you don't notice how much the audio is playing. Cause I know that one jump scene, the audio is 70% of it, 100%. It's, I mean, it's great. So I could see myself putting that in. I'm putting it in now. But now, as the year goes on, how am I going to bump it out? Who's gonna take those same things and do it better than Begonia did?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I'm not saying number one, but I think it's going to make top 10.
I think it deserves to be in top 10. Yeah. But I think bear in mind the year we've had already, and the number of movies that we're like, oh my god, this is you know this. I suspect by the end of the year, we're going to be like, well, that was last year's film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we're going to be kind of, you know, we're going to be so much stuff to come and so much stuff we've already seen. And I mean, I've got one for next week that I'm halfway through seeing now that could be one of the best home theater experiences I've ever had.
Oh boy.
And in terms of, and this is a movie I've already seen 3 times, but this is from Blu-ray to 4K. Jordan knows which one I'm talking about, but I'm halfway through that, and this to me is a bigger jump from Blu-ray to Twister? 4K as it was from DVD to Blu-ray. It's phenomenally done, and it's a reference.
Yeah, you got to tell me that one afterwards if I don't know already. Yeah. It's not already. I don't think
you've seen it. Yeah, it is. It's the last one I put in.
Oh, okay.
But I'm only halfway through it. Yeah, I don't think you've seen it either. And I know Todd he saw the Kaleidoscape version a couple of years back. It's only just dropped in 4K in the UK yesterday. And it's a huge leap over the Blu-ray. And boy, oh boy, is it an experience.
I have that. It really is. Yeah, I almost said it.
I don't think you've seen it.
I started it. I have it on Kaleidoscape.
Oh, yeah, because I reviewed it on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
in the
a
day.
while ago,
Now we've
and
got
you
4K.
loved that, and that's why I thought it was funny that you did it again. I'm like, oh, so you haven't seen the 4K then?
No, and not in Atmos either. And honestly,
Oh.
this needs to be seen in 4K and Atmos. It's a different thing.
So Kaleidoscape has it 4K SDR and Master Audio 5.1.
Not in Atmos.
Not in Atmos.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's revelatory.
Yeah. It says
in
I own
4K
it in 4K. So
yeah, I mean, it's one of the best home theater experiences I've ever had, and I'm only halfway through it.
oh yeah, I know the movie. I know it. I have seen it. Not in its entirety, but I've seen it. I just scrolled by it the other day, as a matter of fact. I know the movie. And I just haven't had a chance to finish it, but it was a good experience when I was watching. I can't remember why I stopped. Something must have come up, and then I just never went back to it. But
We'll put it this way.
I'll get it in
this
for
for
next week.
But yeah, to put it this way, I don't have a fear of what this movie is playing on. I don't have that. Never have. However, I could feel my pulse racing in my chest. I could feel my heart beating faster in my chest watching it. And I've seen it 3 times already. And this is the first time in 4K and Atmos. But I could feel my heart rate increasing in my chest as I was watching this. And I already know how it plays out. It is a phenomenal home theater experience. Way better than Blu-ray. Way better.
So, I don't have that fear either. I don't have that fear either.
But this version brings it out.
Yeah.
It's really good. So anyway, that's for next week.
All right. Yeah, I'll try to get it in. I'll see if I'll even see if I can get the disc.
I think it was a Walmart exclusive in the US. This is, like I said, that came out years ago. But that was 4K? The Atmos 4K HDR version. Yeah. But it was, get this, Deej, it was region locked. It's the only 4K region locked disc that I'm aware of, and it was region locked. So we had to wait, and it came out here yesterday, and it was just awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking. There it is.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it next week. But boy, oh boy, yeah. Paul F. Yeah, he's saying
4K was region locked. 4K shouldn't be region locked.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it's the only one. So that narrows it down for people wondering what it is. It's the only region locked 4K disc. So yeah, Paul says that's quite a tease for next week's show. What can it be? Honestly, Paul, it's stunningly good. I'm blown away by this, and I'm only halfway through it because I got called away, so I couldn't finish it. I could have killed the client. That was so good. But yeah, I'm going to be raving about this next week because it's a film I like anyway. But
I don't think I can get it.
This is a different thing.
It's $50.
Yeah, it's a Walmart exclusive, I think. Yeah, that hence
$47.99.
Jeez, don't spend that as much as I
that?
love it. Don't spend $50 on it. But you might be able to import it from the UK for cheaper than that.
Well, let me try Walmart.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See if they still got.
I just went on Amazon.
Yeah. Okay. I think it was a Walmart exclusive. It says it on Blu-ray.com. It will say. I'm pretty sure that's what it said. Let me have a look. Let me look.
All right.
Yeah, but it's. I am going to be getting very, very excited about this next week.
Dolby Atmos, Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray. Buy now, $39.29. One left in stock. Add to cart. Used 4K.
All right. Okay. Got it. Yeah, it's Atmos, isn't it? Yeah.
I won't get it until Wednesday, May 6th, because it's
okay. I can hold off. Okay. Who the hell has got rid of it? What the heck?
Yeah. Well, I have. Okay, I already have it on Kaleidoscape. So
yeah,
in 4K. But
nice try, Paul. Look at Paul. We can check eBay. How do you spell it again? He's trying to get it.
Yeah. There's a certain amount of letters.
Yes, there's a
first
vowel.
one is capital. Actually, all the letters are capitalized. Yeah.
Honestly, Deej, no one, bearing in mind how well I know it, no one was more surprised than me. I was blown away. Nice. We're talking reference audio, start to finish, and reference video. and completely different to the Blu-ray.
Oh man! All right,
Yeah.
you got me going here. You got me going.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there we go. Very cool. Anyway, there it is.
All right.
Jordan may or may not have let the cat out of the bag.
Of course, always. It's like talking to you. It's like, oh, we got this one. Yeah, I saw it. Look, it's right here. Oh, you're getting better at it, though. Look at you. Just did that. You are like you're getting good at the tease. Look at you go.
Well, we've got two for next week because the other one that you showed that you put up on the screen earlier that we didn't show anyone, that's also got a reference audio track to it.
Which one was that?
The one you flashed up on screen without showing everyone. The one you said to leave it till next week.
The one you had. Oh,
yeah,
this one.
Yeah.
That's the most recent one, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's
a sequel coming in the next few weeks.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Just gave it. So I'm going to get that in. I have that on Kaleidoscape.
Have you seen it?
No, not yet. But I have it. I love it. I love the original. Like I loved the original. And yeah, we'll leave that one too. So we got two right there that are big teases for next week. So
yes.
All right. All right. That'll do it. Wow. That was it flew by, as it always does. Rough start, but we made up for it at the end here.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Thank you everybody for the patience of last week. Thank you for the patience today. Hopefully I can get this squared away and our image quality will be better and I'll be flat. I mean, I actually, as I said to Steve earlier, I'm like, I had a new way of doing it. It was great. It was going to be awesome. We could be more dynamic with our presentation and it all crap the bed. So, but
let me just deal with this because it's been raised. The first one, Paul F. The first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Without giving it away to those that are listening that can't see what Jordan put in the chat.
Right.
Yeah. It's the first one, Paul F. If you can get hold of it, you'll be very glad you did.
Okay, there we go. All righty. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to everybody. I'm just going to say we've been going and we're going to get out. Steve's going to get to bed. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for everything. We will be back next week. Until then, how do I end this? There we go. I forgot to hang up. Until then, you know what you got to do.
Go push play. What he said.
That's right. There's enough time there between that's right.
Hey, Fred.
This has been a Hey Fred production with theme music by Jeff Bernhardt and Throne Vault Productions.